Hey, Nick, we need a tagline for the podcast.
No.
Real life opinions. Movie reviews told by fans and not critics.
So now Jeff's not here. Who's fucking going to start the show?
I think he just did.
Hi. Yeah, we're without Jeff today. He's had a long, busy day. I'm trying to feel sorry for him, but he hasn't seen my schedule, so I love you, Jeff, but I don't. But here we are.
I mean, I had to put out a notice just so that people will leave me the fuck alone.
I mean, I do that well.
Right? Yeah. But, you know, like you said, you can read me like an open book, so when I'm pissy, it's like all on my face. And
that is when I push your buttons.
Side story, my wife's had her buttons pushed by some of her, she's a TC, so whoever works under her, they're complaining they're overworked, they're tired, and they're sick because they work too much, and they don't even get a 40-hour week.
Yeah.
Oh, do they want to come do my job?
I know. It's just like, oh, why don't you go throw on some blue coveralls?
They can come do my job. Like, I have a new notch on my resume because of today, and it's something I don't even want.
Yeah.
Like, we'll throw that one out there. Go be a caretaker, people. You get to do shit that you never wanted to do.
So I guess tonight we're continuing on with the...
You just need to show me this shit for this thing.
Yeah.
Like, we're going on with the Stoner Classic Month. With this one is actually the only one I could truly agree. It is absolutely 100% a stoner movie.
100%.
The other two I question.
My pick, you'll see. But no, absolutely 120% for this movie. So.
You guys said stoner movies. So.
Yep. No, I totally agree. And it's...
I feel your biased-y, I want to use for words, has prevented you from watching Grandma's Boy because it is, like I said, one of the best, and it's...
I've never even heard of it.
I know, but it's, like, again, you kind of avoid Adam Sandler and his relations. Grandma's Boy is a Happy Madison movie. Yeah. But, like I said, anybody who loves the genre of, like, the stoner comedy knows this movie and loves that movie.
When did that come out?
2006.
Yeah, I know. My bias would have probably been...
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, because, but yeah, more than likely.
Sorry, sidetrack. Does this mean this one's been, like, canceled from the...
Yes.
Oh.
So right now, Laura and Corey are discussing Corey's work schedule.
It sucks.
It sucks, but, I am lucky enough I work just 40 hours a week nowadays. That's all I get. And I'm good with that.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yes.
You need to come do my job.
Short-term loss, whatever. I'll get over it.
That's okay. Yeah.
But yeah, Dazed and Confused. I was kind of saying this before. I walked in not sure if I'd like it because I watched it a long time ago and I couldn't get into it. I don't even know if I finished it the first time I watched it. But watched it this time, and I can see why it's the classic that it is.
And it is a classic. Now, granted, it is a typical stoner movie. For the most part, you have to be stoned to understand half of it.
Or at least been in that circle.
Yeah. Oh, so just to be clear, a stoner movie does not have to be about being stoned. It could very easily be about understanding it and needing to be stoned.
Yeah. I mean, have you ever listened to Pink Floyd sober? It's a different experience.
Oh, that's the perfect example. Pink Floyd, The Wall cannot be done straight.
Or Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. There's certain things. So, but it starts off, I mean, we might as well get into the actual logistics of the movie. So, it starts off with the last day of school. They're in Texas, actually, which I did not realize, considering nobody had a Texan accent except maybe McConaughey.
Did you not see the big ass belt buckles?
Well, yes, but I'm saying there was no accent.
Speaking of belt buckles, I like the one guy that had the hookah that it was the belt buckle. Yeah. He took off his... Oh, and then he put it right. He was the quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You saw the PVC pipe one they made with the elbows?
Yeah. Fitting it up. Oh, it's got a seal, man. It's got to be perfect.
In Wood's class, about.
Yeah. Continue on.
Yeah, no, it's the last day of school, and they're talking about Freshie Week, right? I mean,
Freshman, not Freshie.
Freshie Week.
It's Freshman Week.
It was all about hazing. And back in those days, I mean, this movie was filmed in 93, took place in 76. It was a lot, they did a lot of nasty shit back then to those freshmen.
The paddling. Okay. The girls were not that bad. No. I've been through worse.
They got condomized.
Condomized.
And did die.
And then, they took them for a shower, so it was freezing cold, but they took them for
a car wash.
I went through worse.
Okay, I don't want to get this too happy and carried away. I got to jump in here. This was the beginning of the problems that I had, and maybe it's the fact that I didn't go to school long enough in the States. I don't know. Why are they hazing people at the end of the year?
I don't know. It's not just end of the year.
That made no sense.
Summer. They get them all summer. That
but
was
it's still the end of the year. It's the end of the freshman year, going into sophomore year, instead of the start of freshman year.
Yes, but you get 2 months off from school. We got when we did the hazing and got the hazing. It was at the beginning of the year, and you had to deal with the halls. You had to deal with it.
Oh no, you still have to deal with the halls and everything. But if you do it during the summertime, then it's more fun for the graduating class. Because they got all summer to think of all the things that they're going to torture you with.
So is that going to be your main focus? You just graduated high school, and you're going to cling on to that shit?
They tell you exactly what their main focus is in the movie. Their main focus is to get drunk,
party,
and laid.
I know, and it just...
Is there anything else?
Maybe it's a Texas thing, but I felt like, okay, that's kind of... maybe it's real, maybe it's not. Well, doesn't jive with me.
So. My first year in high school, which would have been 93, I think.
High school is what grade to you?
My high school was 8 to 12.
Me too.
So
see, junior high was technically grade 9, but because in Rocky they moved grade 9 into the high school, so 9, 10, 11, 12. So technically, we used to say you're in grade 9, you're high school.
Yeah, no,
it was
grade 8 was freshman for us. Grade 9 was junior. Grade 10 was sophomore. Grade 11, I don't know.
Yeah, see, and I'm more closer to my grade 9 for us was freshman.
Yeah.
So
only because the way our school system worked is that elementary ended in grade 7.
Yeah.
So they didn't have a junior high. They went straight from elementary to high school.
Yeah. See, and for us, it was elementary. It was like out here, elementary ended at the end of grade 5, so 6, 7, and 8 was junior high.
And now you got, OLMP, which is grades 5 to 12.
Right?
For now.
There's no
that school's going to be
there.
Open in 2026, but...
Yeah, but there's no froshing there. And now froshing's actually
illegal. That's the point I was getting at, is 93, first year in high school for me, they had just gotten rid of it because of an incident that happened, and to the life of me, I can't remember what it was, but it was really bad. Well, no, it was in our school. I mean, there was an incident in our school, and they canceled it. So I got lucky. I did not. The only thing that sucked is where I was from for elementary. Elementary ended in grade 8, and high school started in grade 9, which is like kind of what you're saying, but not. Either way, so I came into grade 8, or grade 9, sorry. That's right. I came into grade 9 in that school. That's why I missed it. And so I missed grade 8 completely at that school. And I came in second year high school with questions from the previous year. And I failed my first semester in almost all my classes because I had no clue what was going on. And then made up for it. I never failed a class. But either way, I struggled.
So what was the worst of the hazing for your first year? It was pretty mild, you're saying?
Yeah, it was more just taunting in the halls, like verbal,
that's what we would call bullying now.
Oh yeah, no.
I unfortunately, and again, I'm very sympathetic to bullying, being a recipient. But at the same time, I hate how much that word is getting thrown around now.
Right.
And that's no disrespect. I feel sorry for every person who gets bullied. I do.
Oh, so do I.
But the shit that I went through was not verbal.
Yeah.
And I was lucky. Like I never went through all that shit.
That's because you're a chick.
No, it wasn't. Oh,
I'm just
God,
kidding.
No, women are mean as hell.
Oh, I know they're worse than guys.
They are.
A bitch is far worse than an asshole.
Yes. But it was. I lucked out. I was one of those ones. I was popular, but at the same point, I wasn't popular.
How the hell did you end up in this group?
Right. I don't know, because I didn't give a shit about anybody, and I didn't stick to one group. So I lucked out that way. Not everybody does. And partly, everybody's walking around in fucking bell bottoms and shit, and here I am wearing leather jackets.
Bottoms. I'm older than you. What the hell?
Okay, it was the third time around for that phase.
Yeah, I wore bell bottoms because I found them in the attic and I thought they were cool. And I was a big fan of Lee Majors in $6 Million Man, and he wore bell bottoms. So
did he?
Yeah. So what was the worst of your hazing, or did you have any of that?
I helped with the hazing.
Well, that's what I mean. No, that's what I mean.
Of course you did.
So, we actually had, you remember the old licorice ropes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you whip people with those? Because that fucking hurt.
I had quite a few friends who were whipped with them.
Yeah.
I was in willow branches. They got whipped pretty bad. One of the girls that I knew, we went to a supposed house party, and I actually had no idea that this was going to happen. They had us go to a house party, and they nared. They put hair all over her head and removed all her hair.
Not good.
No, because it actually caused burns. They left it on too long, and it burned her. God, there was a lot. The guys, it was... I saw some of them, they'd tie the ropes onto those stupid furniture movers and drag you behind their cars. Jesus. See if you fell off.
Yeah.
Oh.
You mean a dolly?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Okay, we grew up in a small-ass town with nothing to do, okay?
Apparently my school was a little more sensitive because, god damn.
Well.
Because at this point, too, you heard about what happened in Edmonton, and you're like, okay, well, we can't do that, but we still have to be somewhat mean and make these kids fear us.
So your freshman was what, 95?
How old are you, Corey?
44.
Yeah. My freshman would have been 97.
Ooh, that's pushing the millennium.
97? I graduated in 97.
So I graduated in 88. So I was a little closer to the 1976 thing. Now we had a 2-tier system. If you're a freshman coming in, you had an option. The boys had to dress up like either I can't remember what it was, Strawberry Shortcake or another female character. If you didn't come in dressed like that, then you got hauled to the kangaroo court out back in the parking lot, and that entailed general beatings, whipped cream, licorice beatings, stuff like that. They'd ride you like a horse and make you ride one of the seniors around the football field on your hands and knees while they rode you like a horse.
You did the Bronco ride.
Yeah, stuff like that. I kind of escaped. I escaped my freshman year because I ran off school grounds and hid, and I came back, and then one of the seniors from the previous year that returned, I was bragging to some of the other grade 10ers, and I got out of it because I snuck off. He said, "You did?" Bah! And he got me right there because he was doing the new fresh and nines.
See, because the thing is you never brag about it.
Well, I learned.
Now, we also had the seniors, too, who looked at us, just like in Days and Confused, and when you show up, nobody else will touch you. We showed up. Right.
So now the football team, that was the one I was worried about. Now, my brother played 3 years before me, so...
Dogs are dicks.
So when we were on the bus... there was liquid heat involved, all sorts of different rubs, duct tape, They would give you a gaunch pull to the removal of your underwear, so don't wear silk or anything that doesn't rip easily, and that sort of thing. And I knew damn well, because some of them played with my brother. So when they said it's time, I stood up and I said, "Okay, have at her,
Bring it on,
bring it on." And they were pretty nice and in consideration.
Well, because that's the thing is, if you stand up and face it,
What's the fun in it?
right? Because they're not going to have any fun in it. So you stand up, you face it, say, "Yeah, bring it on." Do
And we're
whatever.
encouraging bullying by saying this.
Yeah, okay. So
It's not.
Make this very clear. There is in no way that we are encouraging bullying or froshing.
Yes, I do. I want to state that too. Mind you, just to connect with the movie, the same thing happened when the kid got given a beer and said "run away." Right. It was that sort of thing. You paid your dues, and you stood up. You took it like a man, and there was a certain amount of respect. I know it's all confusing and weird way back ago.
Right, but
even the teachers.
Well, yes, okay. Yeah. So let's get into the teachers on that one. So you got the teachers. They're dicks in this movie, right?
Yes.
I did pot with my teachers.
I just love Mr. Payne or whatever his name was, the black teacher there.
Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking.
You know, my sergeant told me
first
50 of us went to Nam, 25 are coming back.
Yeah, are going into battle. Only 25 of you come back. Yeah, but we were that way. But you know what? We partied with the teachers. We partied with the cops. We did all that. We had a math teacher. He'd come in, and you could tell the stoners out of all of them, because he'd come in and we'd be going, he's in the bathroom snorting coke during lunch.
That's not a stoner. That's a cokehead.
Right? But we're doing,
Oh, yeah. Well, I got along with the cops, too. I mean, the cops were great, too.
I mean, but
I've always got along with them.
Right, but smoking pot on the school grounds, and you got your teachers coming out and going, "This is the line. If you're past here, you can't smoke that."
I was only a few years out of being able to smoke in class. But I mean, I mean, it is interesting. I'm going to actually call this movie nostalgia bait.
It is nostalgia.
And that's what it is. And I won't condemn anybody for looking back into their past and making connections. So
right.
Well, what's good, sorry, real quick about this is that in 1993, when it was made, it was a nostalgia movie. Like, you can say now it's a nostalgia bait looking back to 1993 when I'm looking back to 1976. But no, even in 1993, it was nostalgia bait for 1976.
Well, yeah, 86 was 18 years or whatever.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
When was Breakfast Club made?
85.
And that was based on 80s.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it was a direct relatable thing for who's current.
Right.
Now it's nostalgia bait.
See, now if they do a movie on the 90s, I'm going to watch it and go, shit, I'm old.
Well, what's it called? Like, it really is, best definition, a coming of age movie.
Yes.
And that
Dazed and Confused?
Yeah.
Okay.
That said, the 90s equivalent, in my opinion, is American Pie.
Right? Because, when you're looking at all of this stuff, and Corey, you're right, because you're looking at all this stuff, you got the quarterback who's unsure if he wants to play football anymore.
Yeah.
And he's the star quarterback. You got this kid who's going into high school, who's terrified about going into high school because the sister runs with the popular circle, and he's going,
the worst thing that could happen.
One of the stoners.
Yeah.
Although Jason London is so awesome.
And the worst thing that happened to him is his sister asked them to take it easy.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as you
I like
say
when he said
that.
to it, or said to the sister, it's like, just don't tell mom to take it easy on me.
Right.
Oh, on a side
mean?
note, she told that one guy to take it easy on him. You know who that guy ends up being as an actor?
No. Which one?
Yeah.
Rip from Yellowstone.
Oh,
the
shit,
redheaded guy?
Yeah.
That's Rip.
Like the football player?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the one that was telling him to come back to high school, don't sign that thing and just shut up and come
No.
back.
He was the curly-haired guy that was making the paddle in the beginning, and he ended up...
Oh, yeah.
That ends up being Rip.
I've never watched Yellowstone.
Oh, okay.
I know of the character because everyone talks about
I know
him,
exactly
That
what
was
you're
like...
talking about.
We Kathy and I, my wife and I, went through others and tried to catch all the names that we recognized and who, and quite often there's somebody even in the background that doesn't have any dialogue that ends up being famous.
Right.
But I was like, holy shit, that's Rip.
Right.
Fuck.
But it's like you're going through and you watch it, and the sister, just take it easy on him.
And that's
Signed to death warrant.
Exactly. If I entered high school with any of my sisters in high school at that point and they said that, I would have been looking at my mom going, I fucking quit. I'm done. Like,
you know what the most Texas thing about that movie was?
Matthew McConaughey.
No, when Ben Affleck chased the kids up to the house and the mom came out with a shotgun.
Yeah.
That is so Texas.
here I got a shotgun.
Suburban. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But Matthew McConaughey is not the most Texan thing about that movie. He is the epitome of the old man who does not want to give up his teenage years.
Right. He's hitting on that sophomore or whatever
Right?
whatever grade they were in.
Nice thing about high school.
Oh, he
girls.
was such a douche.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, and he says it in the movie too. The nice
The great
thing about those
High school girls is
I get older, they stay the same.
That quote has kicked around for a while.
Oh, yeah.
So,
That and all right.
Oh, yeah, the most famous.
sorry,
Yeah.
score.
I was like, wow, Corey's trained because I can say that well. Wow.
Nope.
And Corey's happy. The Oilers apparently got a point.
Yeah, well, I'm happy because the Leafs won. So they came in from behind and beat out Boston.
That's what she said.
So. That's okay.
So I'm going to say the most un-Canadian thing ever. Who fucking cares it's hockey?
I honestly don't care a whole lot. If I did, I'd be watching more, but
And here's the other thing, and I have to point out, this is probably very Canadian. You're cheering for the Leafs?
where am I from?
I don't care.
They're the most successful Canadian team economically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Way to save your ass.
they make more money off merchandising and everything else than any other NHL team. Maybe it might be in the last five.
Did you know
10 years.
that obviously they're the most expensive arena in Canada? That makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you know that Edmonton is second?
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Yes, but Edmonton's at least won more games.
No, they haven't.
In
No, I don't know. Have they won more this year?
one more series, yes, but this year.
I mean, just because the last time the Leafs won the cup was '67, they still won it like 8-9 times before that.
They won when it was still black and white.
That's right. Oh no, they had color in '67.
Especially if you paid extra.
Well, yeah.
But it wasn't the norm.
If you had the little...
That's right.
You know.
That's true. The norm at one time was supplied by the church. That is gone. Oh, sorry, never mind.
Wow, nice accent.
Wow.
I know where he's going with that.
Yeah.
For those math illiterate ones like me, Mike's cheering for a team that last time they won the series was 57 years ago.
Yes, and they
need
still
to
don't have the
Yes, I
record,
did.
and they still don't have the record for the longest drought. Somebody else has longer one. Hey, all I got to say is cheers to the Oilers fans because they're the new Leafs. Settle in. The Leafs went through some amazing, fantastic, brilliant hockey teams over the years, and they never did it. And McJesus and whoever they got, good luck to you. I hope maybe I would cheer for you because it brings it back to Canada. But you're the new Leafs.
So about that dazed and confused.
Yeah. You know what?
We're all
You don't need to
stoned.
talk about language, but we need to get back on topic.
Yes. Okay.
I don't mind getting off topic movie-wise, but
Okay.
sports, yeah.
Movie topic change. We're sitting here talking about
Sorry, I got one.
Okay.
So we say this is basically a day in the life, coming of age, yada, 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 yada. The fact that Rory Cochrane, who plays the long black-haired guy in it there, I can't remember his name now for the life of me.
The really, really stoned one.
Oh, the super
with the
stoned
hat
guy?
and the backwards hat or whatever thing. He is from Empire Records, which was a great day in the life movie in the 90s. And then he went on to star in CSI Miami for a number of years.
He was in CSI Miami.
Speed.
He was what?
Speed.
Oh, I watched that for a couple seasons.
Apparently, I've never watched The Assignment.
Oh, I never did either.
David Caruso was the lead.
Well, he was the next, and then he decided he wanted to do bigger and better, so he got his character killed off, and he hasn't done anything since.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But no, I liked him in Empire Records quite a bit. Actually, he was probably my second favorite character in that movie.
Well,
so
no wonder nobody recognizes him. He looks nothing.
Oh
like
yeah, no, I
Slater.
do that too.
yes, he does.
He looks nothing like
See that?
Slater anymore.
What do we got the picture of?
He looks nothing like Slater.
Oh yeah. See, yeah, he's so
Slater, thank
different.
you.
Yeah.
Anyway, but
Who's the long-haired guy that got beat up?
the kid.
He was all the nervous. I'm gonna do it. And then he has a few beers. And he goes and dumps the beer and punches the guy. Then he gets,
His buddy there.
he's super famous.
I don't
too.
want to be a lawyer anymore. I want to dance.
I want to dance. I mean,
It's funny. I was watching the buddy with the long hair and the glasses there. That was that threesome group there. The Michael, the guy, and then the girl with the red curly hair.
oh yeah.
The blonde one. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
God, he sounds familiar. And I'm looking at him. He doesn't look familiar, but he sounds familiar. And I'm like, well, does he look like? Oh, maybe he does. And so I had to look it up. Adventures in Babysitting. He played Daryl, the friend. And I'm like, oh my God, that's that voice. Yes, that's her. So
That's a weird movie too.
it was a classic. I mean, it's far from a great movie, but it's a great movie at the same time.
Yeah.
So.
Oh man. It was star-studded before they were stars.
Yeah.
I can only criticize the young kid, the baseball player that got caught early on. His acting was brutal. It was like absolutely brutal.
He reminded me so much of a young Joseph Gordon-Levitt. It wasn't even funny.
I thought it was him at first.
Yeah.
At first glance, I thought,
Yeah.
yeah, George. Oh no.
No, and his name's Wiley.
Yeah.
Like not in the movie, but his real name. Yeah. So, yeah. I do the same thing. I always look back at characters that you're like, hey, they're a nobody then. But like Ben Affleck, I mean, for the most part, Ben Affleck hasn't changed. He's gotten a little bit more mature looking, but he's got the same general look he's always had. Mila Jovovich has always been gorgeous, but she's done a few things to ruin her reputation with me. But
What is that there, Corey?
there was a movie called 45 she was in.
Yeah.
Incredible movie, but she bared all for no real reason, and it was almost distracting to the plot of the movie, which is an incredible plot.
My God, Corey is just morally criticizing boobs.
She doesn't have boobs. Have you seen her boobs?
They're large nipples.
Yeah. Yes, you could hang a jacket off of those things.
She's hot, but yeah, I
But
get
her face, and her eye, like I said, I'm a sucker for eyes. So she has got amazing eyes.
I totally agree. Gratuitous nudity without nudity without real purpose is kind of.
If you get a chance to watch that movie, like I said, the plot is absolutely
Except for porn.
phenomenal for this 45 movie.
Okay.
It's got her. It's got Steven Dorff in it. It's got a guy that I can't think of his name. But either way, just
Does he have a mustache?
probably. Anyway, it's basically about a girl who's in an abusive relationship. She's got her two friends, a guy and a girl, who are like, you need to get out, you need to get out. She's like, I'm too scared. So finally she gains up the courage and gets him busted for something he did. Like, he was a bad guy too. He like ran guns and stuff like that.
Okay.
So she turns him in, essentially like rats him out, and he gets arrested and put away for a while. And so her friend's like, yeah, you did eat it. And all of a sudden she became a snob and she was too good for her friends. And just an absolutely beautifully written movie. But like I said, just the amount of times she gets naked in it for no reason is like, why? Especially when, again, she has nothing to show off.
So, okay, you're talking about the one that goes and picks the fights, says that he's just got to do one.
With the long hair, he's got this nasally
The one who,
Jewish
the one who got
Italian.
the crap kicked
Part of
out
the
him?
threesome. Yeah, the third one.
Yeah.
Adam Goldberg.
Yeah.
That's Adam Goldberg, yeah.
Yeah, I found him annoying as fuck, but very relatable.
Yeah, but
He was definitely a Goldberg, like, not Jewish enough.
As a character, I find him annoying.
Yeah.
Like as an actor,
And everything he's done.
and everything he's done,
annoying.
he's just. I think he was in Saving Private Ryan.
yes, he was.
He was one of the crew there.
But he
And
didn't have.
he wasn't as bad.
He didn't have as many lines. So,
Yes.
But I'm taking away Corey's phone.
I'm being quiet, thank you. You're making a deal out of it.
Oh, she's taking over Jeff's job.
I'm allowed to today.
So, was there any characters that you found annoying? Like, that you didn't like, that were...
I'll let her go first, but I've got my opinion. You know it.
So, the trio I could have lived without.
Yeah.
Like, I really could have lived without the trio. The three... See, again, they're the trio. What's his Pickles' friend? Kramer's friends. The three of them.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty much I could live with all of them. And the bad acting from the kid that played Kramer, too.
Yeah.
There's a bit of that going around.
I hate that dick. Yeah. Right? No, there's a few that I could have lived without. I mean, those random pockets. Oh, and I'm just here for the booze and a fight, and looks like we're almost out of beer. That guy.
Here to drink beer and kick ass, and I'm almost out of beer.
Right?
Oh.
Yeah, I could have lived without
What
him.
is up with the fact that he was like so fucking red? Like when he took his shirt off, his entire body was like a lobster.
I'm pretty sure they were belly slapping.
But he just took his shirt off.
Well, maybe
Was
they were
it-
whipping each other with licorice ropes. I
This
don't
is
know.
the guy that beat up Goldberg,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. Like he was, a skinny Hispanic guy.
Yeah.
All of a sudden he rips off his shirt to fight, or to egg the guy on, and he's fucking beat red.
Maybe he just crawled out of the tanning bed. I don't know.
Well, we're talking hot Texas here, so
Yeah, he was outside.
it's hard to
that's all.
say.
He probably just burnt. Yeah.
They don't. Not racist, but they don't normally turn red. Just-
Well, when you live in hotter climates, you usually kind of climatize to it, and it's,
Right?
and that sort of thing. But
Them.
the only real bad acting was from the lead kid. I just didn't like his acting. Yeah, he was endearing and all,
Right?
but he had the quarterback. Why is the quarterback so nice and everybody else is a douchebag? Huh?
Because
Interesting.
he went through the same thing.
Well, they all went through the same thing, did they not?
Not all of them, but the quarterback actually tells the kid,
Yeah.
Well, that was his brother, wasn't it?
No.
Oh, I
That
thought.
was Jody was his sister, and the quarterback had a crush on Jody, but he was dating Simone.
Right. No, I was thinking because his brother was someone too,
No,
wasn't he?
no,
I didn't catch
Oh.
anything on him having a brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, no.
All right. Either way,
So yeah.
the quarterback was Jason London. That's all.
Yeah.
I know. So
Yeah.
But he actually explains. I went through it my freshman year too, and sometimes you'll luck out and you'll find a group of them who'll
Yeah.
kick your ass and then take you out and get you drunk.
which is basically what they did. So
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you've got Ben Affleck's character, who's the dick who just wants to
Just the
beat your
dick
terrible
for
mind.
dick's sake.
yeah, he's
Apparently he heard.
enamored by himself.
Yes.
So
Yeah. No, it's just I don't remember any bad acting other than the one guy. There's I find Goldberg annoying.
Well,
But I don't think he's a bad actor. But he's done the same thing for 30 years.
right?
again, this is not a racial comment because, well, first of all, it's not a race, but I find that most of the popular Jewish actors have done that with their entire career.
Yeah, they get into a role and
Yeah,
it's
they lean
stereotyping.
into that
Yeah.
aspect. But
You're like, oh, you need a Jewish guy? Hoi vey, I'm the guy.
it's funny how Hollywood is run by.
I mean,
Never
Mel
mind,
Brooks
I
is
didn't
like
say
98
anything.
years old. He's still going strong.
Yeah.
So, Mel Brooks.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
they got a secret, those guys. So
Yeah. I'm going to bring up a new topic.
actually, I got to throw in mine.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Oh.
no.
Oh, did we not do yours?
No.
Oh, let's do yours.
No, mine easily. I said this to you earlier. My least favorite character in the movie was the most known
Yeah.
character in the movie. I hated Matthew McConaughey in this movie. I think he was over stereotypical, over the top, over annoying. Obviously, his character itself was douchey and creepy, but that's not even the reason I didn't like him.
See, I think that's why they put him in, is because he can portray that role so well.
It just seemed like he was chewing up scenery more than he was trying to make a movie. So
I could be wrong,
Yeah.
but I believe this was his first movie, full-length movie.
that could be right, yeah.
I believe, and yeah,
But like he's got so many lines that everyone knows. Like it'd be a lot cooler if he did.
yeah.
Everybody still talks about that line.
See-
All right. Everybody talks about that line. So-
That's the one that I remember everybody talking about.
It'd be much cooler if you did.
No.
All right.
Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah, man.
But-
Be much cooler if you did. I hated the character, but I thought he portrayed it well.
I just think it was over the top.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that could be so, because I felt like he was so okay with it, which I hated, but I felt that's what they wanted out of that character.
Well, and it had to have been because he looked like he was having fun. So obviously he didn't look like he was forced to be that character. He was being that character.
Yeah.
But it just didn't seem to fit when everyone. And again, I've been in that crowd. I was never really. I mean, obviously I've tried things, but I've never really been in like a person leading that crowd.
Yeah.
But I've been in that crowd, and all the other guys, I've known someone like every single one of them. But him just seemed like he was a caricature in a world of serious.
Oh, I thought they were all a bit of a characters.
Right, and I suppose
To some degree.
it depends on the type of crowd that you grow up with, because for me it's like we had guys like that hanging around, but the middle child in my family is 5 years older than me, so it just goes out from there. So you get those weird creepy guys and you don't find them creepy. And you're right, Mike, Dazed and Confused is his first movie.
And it's just like, and everybody else was okay with it too, right? The football or the quarterback, he was, oh, you're cool, and it's just like, and to me, I didn't like the character just because of what it was symbolized, that it's okay to be like that, and I hated that.
The creepy.
Yeah, like he's going to be 29, 30 and still looking at that high schooler.
I was wondering what age they were pegging him as, because they never really said it, but you knew he was older, but they I wouldn't go based on his actual age, obviously.
No, I'm not going to. I want to find out, because they don't normally tell you.
Yeah, no, but he was definitely in his mid to late 20s.
How many years did he graduate before that?
That's the thing.
But everybody
I didn't
knew
hear
him,
numbers, yeah. So,
Yeah.
but that's the thing. If the juniors didn't know him, but the seniors knew him, so it had to be within 4 years old.
See, that's what I would speculate, that the juniors knew him, so we're talking 4 years older, so 18, 19, 21, 22-ish.
I wouldn't even say that, because some of the guys that he knew, like the cops that showed up, knew him from school.
Well, that one cop that busted them at the football field there, he's like...
Reliving your days on
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I found a certain relatability with the Goldberg, because I was that guy. I was him when I got into a fight in high school. I got tired of being bullied, and I got tired of it, and I finally now I was sober. And just like, actually, okay, I'll tell the story. So I'll be quick with it. His name was Dale, and a friend told him that I said his girlfriend was a cow, which is a lie. He confronted me, said, "You called my girlfriend a cow." I denied it. So he said, fucking, let's go out 3 o'clock, whatever, in the football field. And I was shaking and nervous all day long. He was like 4 inches shorter than me, but he was a boxer, and he did a lot of that. We went out there. I sucked it up. I got in a couple good hits, but he kicked the shit out of me. And I called it. He says, "Look, I didn't do it, but you win," and it was done. And I actually earned or gained a new group of friends from that, and they all kind of stood up for yourself. That's what I liked about it. Now, just as a little ending to that winter, it was like 40 below, and I was walking. The guy who beat me up gave me a ride to school. He was a great guy. Great guy. After that, it was just that was the moment. He dealt with it. He was fine with the ending, and we moved on. So
there was this one kid in my class, like 6 foot tall, 10 pounds, like, but he hung with the arrogant guys, right? Like the tough guys, and they were tough guys. Like they would pick on me. That's fine. I ain't fighting back with those guys. But he would jump in on it, right? Because he's friends with them. They're not going to touch me, right?
yeah.
And to top it off, his dad was a cop. So he ran his mouth and ran. One day in class, before the teacher got there, I think we had like our 4 rows of chairs or whatever, or desks. I can't remember if they're desks or just chairs. But either way, he was fucking running his mouth. And I just lost my shit and I shoved him. He went through 2 rows of desks pretty well in the air before he hit the floor.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, he didn't say much after that.
And like I don't know if it was the schools that we went to in Calgary or, like, when they moved us to Morinville, nobody knew us, so it was okay. But, the schools in Calgary, I seriously don't know if it's just because of the family name and we were just compared to our siblings, but yeah, even the teachers would leave us alone, so it was kind of great.
I don't even know what your maiden name is.
That's good.
Okay. You don't have to. I just came to that conclusion. I don't know. So
Most people don't.
okay.
I mean, then again, I've been married for a long fucking time.
So,
I'm push. Well, this year will be what year? 22 years this year for me.
Yeah, this year's 20.
Yeah.
that's funny. I didn't realize. Jeff and I were talking about it, and I didn't realize how short of a term he's been married to Amy. I've been married 33 years, so and it's just like okay, and I didn't, because Nick is from
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah.
no, I didn't realize that. So.
I mean, and you sit here, and like for us, we say, we've been married a long time, but we're anomalies now.
Nowadays, it's 1 and 2
Yes.
separate.
So that's weird because everybody I know has been in long terms. I don't know anybody that's divorced or single or whatever that's even remotely close to our ages,
Right?
which is weird.
Right, but when you get into like Corey's and my ages, and especially Jeff's and mine, literally it's 1 and 2 are divorced.
Yeah,
And honestly, this new Gen Z thing, they don't even want to get married anymore.
No,
oh
I
god,
think most of them don't even make it a year.
Yeah. Everything to them is a relationship joke, no matter how old they've gotten.
Right?
They think relationships are a joke, and they don't take them to heart, and they don't. You don't develop yourself as a person, and it sounds bad. I feel really bad for the people who don't or can't find somebody, but it does something to your personality to find someone and to be with someone. So, and it makes you for the better. But I mean, I don't knock people who can't find.
I agree, and but I've seen the polyamory is a popular thing these days, and I don't get it, but I'm not gonna condemn it because I don't. But
Turns out Lisa's against that. By the way, I might have found that out.
Okay.
damn it, so close.
That's not meant to sound as it sounds, by the way. So it was a joke once when I made the comment to her. So
It's and I've heard that so much too. That this new generation's against marriage, and there's a lot of YouTube stuff based on this.
I've talked to a lot of polyamorous people actually, and it's crazy. Like just listening to them, like how do you do this?
You see, like I don't know about Corey or even about you, Mike, but both of my kids, they're both adults. Both of them are, and throughout all of high
Victor's
school,
legal everywhere now.
Victor is legal everywhere as of today.
Yeah.
But they're growing up. They're going to junior high and high school, and it's like, well, don't you have a girlfriend? No. Is there anybody you're interested in? And like, I bugged them for years. Are you gay? Are you straight? What do you like? And I finally got I like boobs. Great. You got a girlfriend.
Well,
No.
Andrew, Andrew being Andrew.
Yeah.
He's not interested at all.
Right.
But I think he's more. Again, this is me saying I don't want to upset him, but I think he's more of like asexual versus.
Because there's a lot
other.
of that too.
Yeah, like he just doesn't care
Right. See,
about the other sex.
There's a lot of that right now too, and because that's pretty much well, especially Victor. Victor is very much asexual.
Yeah.
But a lot of it too, like Alan said it best. You know what? I grew up in Camrose. I am not interested in any of the girls here.
That's fair.
Right?
But
He's like, when I go to school with him, nope.
Stephen might, eh?
You might have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Do I need to go like creep out?
Well, but no, you don't. That's the thing.
Oh.
Lisa's not incredibly thrilled.
Uh-oh. So, where is she?
She might be 18.
Oh.
And how old?
He's turning 16.
Good on him, man.
Right?
Yeah.
That's not so
Holy cow, right?
Hey.
And she's a great girl. Like, I've met her and
So
everything.
you met her, but
yeah.
he's hiding her from mom.
No, not at all. No, she's just not happy over
Typically,
It's only 2 years.
typically I find daughters, boyfriends should be very afraid of the father. Sons, girlfriends should be very afraid of the mother.
I think that's very.
It's the
accurate.
crossover.
That is very accurate,
Yeah.
but as I told both of my boys, it's not your girlfriend that needs to be afraid of me, it's you. Right? Keep your pecker in your pants, because if you get some girl pregnant before you're done high school, I'm going to cut it off, kick it around in the damn dirt.
Fair enough.
Right? So it's not the girlfriend who needs to be afraid of me, it's my own kids.
Did you ever watch the movie The Package? I recommend that. I'll leave it there.
She cut it off and kick it around in the dirt.
Well, that's what you made me. That's immediately where
I just think of Andy Samberg and Justin Timberlake in the box in Saturday Night Live. There.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, new topic on this movie. You know what? Actually, I gotta take a leak, so I think I'm gonna go break, and we'll all have a body break. Not together, just separately, just so you know. So if we're gone a little longer than you think, it's because there's a long line at the can.
And we're back at Real Life Opinions, sitting here with Laura and Corey. Where you at, Corey? What's going on?
I don't like your enthusiasm.
Oh, sorry. I'll dial it back a little bit then.
Just a little.
Okay.
I don't like your... At least he's honest.
Have I ever been known for my enthusiasm?
You enthusiastic?
Yeah. We've already established I'm like the most monotone person in the group, so...
Yes, we were going to talk about that. Chris and I were talking that you shouldn't be as monotone as you're trying to be because you're getting too monotone.
But isn't that the point?
Well, no, there's a couple times in we were discussing, there's a couple times that my character responds to you and I need something for me to trigger it. And I can't remember where I remember. Anyway, Laura, you were going to say something.
If you want him to not be monotone, just hold up a cover of Twilight.
Or boobs.
Or boobs.
Okay. Boobs.
I mean, at least...
Except for Mila's. I have standards.
Okay. I'm kind of an ass man myself. That's where I locate. Anyway.
So in Corey's case, it needs to be more than nipples.
Okay. So here's another observation. Year's 1976. A lot of those cars are less than 5 years old and in pristine condition, being driven around by a lot of high schoolers.
Yeah.
That seems odd. Is that a normal thing that high schoolers could afford that? Or do we have a lot of parents driving around really cool cars?
Well, back in the day, kids got vehicles from their parents.
Well, yeah, but they were awfully, like, we're talking, like, hot muscle cars. We're not talking, like the AMC Pacer from the last movie or anything like
Besides
that.
McConaughey's, which, I mean, again, he's older, but besides McConaughey's, the only one that was really nice was the orange one. Other than that, the rest were just okay.
I mean, when they were on the streets and driving around and cruising, there was a lot of, I mean, Ben Affleck's looks like it was in the process of being rebuilt, and I justify a lot of kids back then were more mechanically inclined than kids today.
Oh yeah, because they had shop class that actually taught them shop,
and it was a bit more of a, we'll say a masculine vibe to work on cars. So I did accept a lot of that. I'm pretty sure I did see a 78 Trans Am though, but I could be wrong.
Nice,
because
although the Trans Am didn't change much in the 70s.
The 73 still had the rounded split bumper front end. Yeah. And I seen one that was clearly Burt Reynolds' year, or at least 74, 75 at the very minimum. And that's what I thought, wait a minute, these cars are a bit pricey for young kids. Yeah. But, you know, mind you,
at least they didn't have the big Firebird logo on it. Pontiac Firebird.
Oh, jeez, I'm just trying to... I thought it did, but I'm not going to... you know, it's a movie, and it's movieing.
My cousin had one of those. Yeah, it was gold.
I almost bought a white one. I really liked that. But my brother talked me out of it because it was, it was 1990 and it was a 77 and you can't trust that many years and they wanted a lot of money.
Aside from my first beater car, which only lasted a year or so, my first car was a brand new Cavalier. So it was a K car, but it was a good K car, and it was reliable, and it lasted forever. The only reason I got rid of it is to trade it in for the van when we had the kids. So
hold on, guys. I'm gonna stop here for a little technical check here. So just we'll be right back.
Right back, and I just want to do a quick check. So I think there's going to be a sound change everybody's going to notice, but don't worry about it. We're doing the best we can. Anyway, we were talking about cars.
Yes, we were.
Whether it was realistic that there were that many fancy, nice new cars. Not enough station wagons, not enough, the 70s show. That's what I would have expected. Panel side...
Okay.
They were kind of the rich kids, though, weren't they?
Yeah, that's why I Googled L.A. or where it was from, and it's like, oh, shit, yeah, they're from Texas.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, yeah, I'd expect it from L.A., but I don't know. I just, I wasn't too sure.
I could see it in Texas. I mean...
Everything's bigger in Texas.
Right?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
I want proof.
You want what?
I want proof. If everything's bigger in Texas, I want proof.
I mean,
well, Mila Jovovich was in Texas.
Yeah, no, they lie. So, it's like going to WebMD. Not gonna get the right stuff there either.
Hey, I should have been dead like 20 years ago thanks to WebMD.
Right?
I was gonna say it's gone. Somebody else jump in. Go ahead.
So another unbelievable moment: those three kids that got back at the Ben Affleck character. That was totally ridiculous because now they're going to get their ass kicked.
Well, right?
Ben Affleck is going to destroy them.
You just pissed off the senior who flunked.
And he's like 6'4" or something like that.
Yeah, Ben Affleck's a big dude.
He's a big dude.
A football player.
Yeah. So, that was.
But let's dump paint on the football player.
Yeah, but apparently he did actually hurt himself when he went down. And he smashed that paddle on flipped up and cut his knee or something like that. Apparently,
yeah, stabbed him in the leg or something like that. Yeah, and when he slipped on the paint there.
Yes, which was also awesome for him to continue on, not stop the thing, but. This is another. It's a nuanced little nitpick, but when that car squealed out on the grass from that scene, it's just like, come on!
Where that car was sitting in the way it went over.
There was a lot of grass.
Tell with the grass, the way it went over the curb.
Yeah,
it would have tore up the bottom of that car.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't give a shit when anybody says.
Yeah, but so many freaking movies ignore bottoming out of cars.
Yeah,
right?
So many movies.
So many do, and especially that T-Bird. 76, the shocks were nowhere near what we have now. He would have destroyed that undercarriage.
Yes.
And then, of course, I would have been pissed off. And not like the movie, because then they destroyed the car. But you know what?
Did I ever tell you about my buddy Mike Kraft? I went to school with him. There's a big, long story that I won't get into. He's a wonderful, fantastic, beautiful human being. But he was a car guy. Like, he invented, in his garage, a remote-powered digital cruise control. So he's driving around in a 76 Chevy, and he just goes 300, go. And then the truck just gives her, never gets there, of course, but he was a car guy, all I knew. He ended up moving down to Montana, and he actually worked for Hollywood for a few years, and he was supplying cars, like he would get, we need 14 late 70s police cars, and he would supply them, and they would send him back, okay, we need this by noon tomorrow, so he'd work all night. He got out of it because it was too much stress, is what he told me, but his leg is in a movie. He steps out of the car and they show his leg. It's actually on the cover of the DVD. And I can't remember what movie it is. No, it was actually recognizable. It was kind of a, what do you call that? It was a Lean On Me type shows. It was a young kids kind of thing. And I can't remember the name of it.
Lean On Me? Was it Stand By Me?
That's what I mean. Like, no, it wasn't that one, but it was one of those type.
Okay.
And I can't remember. It was something
not
summer.
All the same. Lean on me and stand by me.
Right?
Well, you know what I mean. It's about the kids and the Lord of the Flies type situation. I can't remember what it was. But anyway, he got out of it because of that. Just too much work.
I need a bit more than the kids in the Lord of the Flies.
Well, I can't give you any more than that because it wasn't a blockbuster. But, you know, it was...
The pigs there to throw Basher in.
What's that?
Lord of the Flies.
Oh, okay.
He's talking about bashing in a pig's skull while he slips.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You know, the usual.
Right? Yeah.
So, anyway, shout out to Mike Kraft out there. You know, great times listening to Bill Cosby on vinyl and running around on a old car hood with the skidoo having frozen horse shit blow up in your face.
Excellent.
Yes. I'll tag you on this one. We'll be at about the 45-minute mark.
But you have to listen to the whole thing.
That's right. Mind you, he's going to be in that 55 demographic club too. So.
And?
Yeah, just hey, a viewer's a viewer, or a listener's a listener.
I was going to say we're viewing them now.
Yeah,
what the fuck?
Hey, if
and
we can get enough
on YouTube, so
if we get enough TikTokers, we can go live with one of these.
What's the number again?
1,000.
Oh.
I've got 2,000. We can go live on my TikTok.
But that means I'd have to like people more.
Well, you don't have to. You have to see them. They're imaginary.
But my imaginary friends run away too.
Yeah.
Corey has no choice but to be my friend. He's shackled to me.
I have 34.
And he's
I'm
not
following, and 5 following me.
He is not denying the fact that he's shackled to me.
Yeah.
I totally related to the Bush party at the end of the movie, the big climactic thing, and
The Bush party?
yeah,
The moonlight,
The
whatever.
water tower?
and all that stuff. Yeah, it was,
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't as bush as Alberta is, but whatever. You know, they all went to that. They all got hammered and stoned and all that
There was
stuff.
always a ditch involved in Alberta.
Yeah. Well, we had Hippies Hollow, we had the Coliseum, and we had the ski hill. Those were the 3 big ones. The ski hill used to had this abandoned ski lift with just the tow ropes, and it was all decrepit and rusted. And somebody drew a Austin Mini on the fire pit, and and there was a frame, and that's where the fire. That was one. That was the ski hill. Then there was Hippies Hollow, which I don't know how that got its name, but that was about 6K the other direction. And the Coliseum, which actually shut down a couple years after I got into high school, and that was just this big hole of beach sand for whatever reason. It was just there, and we used to party there. So those were the 3 big ones anyway. Then you had your house parties and whatnot.
Yeah, I never went to the bush parties.
I got a lot of stories, but I could eat up another 45 minutes with those stories.
We used to do our parties out at the old auction house in Mornville. You just had to be careful because people like to climb on the roof and then fall off.
Yeah. It's not a good party unless somebody's getting hurt.
Right? I mean, and then we got moved out to Bonacourt, population 15 fucking people. Woohoo! So, you know, the biggest party.
But I've heard of it. It has to be more than that.
Now there is.
Oh, okay.
But, you know, you bring all your friends in from Mornville and then you go cow tipping.
Fuck your
Right? Well, this is what happens when your house is right behind a farmer's field. You go cow tipping. I mean, generally you're drunk and stoned while you're doing it, but you still go cow tipping. Didn't you ever play Slap the Bull?
No.
I have. They took this city girl and put her in bumfuck nowhere. We learned how to make fun.
I guess. So the movie gets to the point where it's literally Like I said, they get out of school and it's just party, next party. I like when it was supposed to be at Buddy's house and the keg guy comes early, the parents haven't left yet. And so the parents like, oh, I guess we're not leaving. And you can see his face like, yeah.
He's just...
So then they end up having to bust up. So it ended up like, what, 3 different spots that night?
No. They ended up just doing it.
They all ended up
out at the water tower.
Yeah.
But it ends up being a typical night for them. Like, they're just cruising around, they're grabbing food, they're all out at the pool hall, and then all of a sudden it's like, you know what, we're going to have a party. And now all these kids are going up, and what gets me in this whole thing, because I've never, ever seen this happen, is not a single cop actually shows up out there.
Yeah, not until the when they're on the high school field.
Yeah.
That they show up, yeah. And I was kind of wondering the same thing, because I expected that somewhat of a climactic moment in the movie.
Right.
Is them getting, and the kid and all this stuff getting busted, but nope.
Because normally, you have a party that big, that many people, even if it is at the water tower, the cops are going to show up and you're going to scatter.
Yeah. Well, that's what the one guy even did. Look, oh my God, it's the cops, it's the cops. See how these?
Right. Yeah, so, no, you expect that. And you expect the underage, you know, you're all going to jail, you're getting your parents called.
Yeah.
And just to keep it as a day in life movie, like there was no elements of a story. There was no blah, 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 blah. No. I mean, for the most part. And so the movie reaches its denouement, I guess, for lack of better words, when, they go to pump the keg and nothing came out.
And they're out of there.
And the movie just slowly starts winding up from there.
Right. Which is exactly what the night happened. You're out of booze, you're out of pot, you're out of whatever. And it's like you all just kind of sit there and slowly come back out of it.
Yeah.
Right? And
drive home, which there's a lot of impaired driving in that movie.
I mean, and then like throughout the whole movie and the kid showing up at home and it's dawn.
Yeah. And the mother giving him the get out of jail free card.
Right, this is your one get out of jail free card. Meanwhile, I'm looking at that going, fuck, why'd I have to be the youngest? Because I never got that shit. Like, you know, if I showed up at my house at dawn and I'm drunk and stoned, I'd get it wouldn't be, are you drunk? No. Are you stoned?
I think he only had one pass in terms of that, but he was definitely drunk. So.
Right? But, you know, my mom wouldn't have asked me that question.
She
it would
known.
Be like, come here.
Yeah, parents would, like, and the mother did know. You could tell.
Right?
But she was like, aw, you know, I was that age once, kind of thing. But like she said, if you come to this house again at dawn, we got trouble.
Right?
So.
See, and like, I fucking wish my mom looked at me and said, if you're going to get stoned, there's a fire pit in the backyard. That's where you smoke it. What the fuck? Like,
your mother said that to you, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
If I was going to get stoned or drunk, I got drunk at the house and I got stoned at the fire pit because my mom was allergic to marijuana.
Oh, we told Logan the first time had to be with us and whatever, and
that's what I said to
Andrew, the same thing, you know. So. You know,
and Stephen technically, but yeah,
do it here, and when you can handle it, and you know you can handle it, then go out into public. But
see, and I said it to both of my kids too, but you know, both of them had DARE so badly drilled into their heads that if I even grab I'm not even allowed to smoke in my own car. So, you know, if I even grab a cigarette, it's, do you need one of those? Do you want to live? And Corey's over here doing the octopus.
Apparently it's 3-0, I'm guessing.
Right?
3-0.
Just based off the octopus over there, yeah.
I just need McDavid to score to get some points.
Back to the movie.
Yeah, like I said, there was nothing else to the movie. That was it.
This was not a movie with a real storyline. It was never meant to have an actual
again, day in a
story.
life / coming of age.
Yeah.
It's all it was.
All it was.
Yeah, Jeff called me out or accused me or whatever the hell Jeff does about, you know, I wasn't a big fan of last week's, which was
Fast Times.
Fast Times, which we haven't released yet, but
I saw the TikTok with Corey, and he didn't really enjoy it either.
Well, I mean, I don't mind a day in the life as long as it's interesting or something I can get behind. I could not get behind anything here. I found some mild moments where this was interesting, where it got me in, but it was just like they were all sub-stories, subplots, little things. There was like 25 little story arcs within it.
Which is the point.
Well, yeah, and that's fine. And it's just like I related to some, and
well, that's good directing, is what that is, though. So
see, and some of it.
Well, see, I would say he made some big directing mistakes outside of that, but that's fine
because like you can.
That's editing. Good editing.
It's good editing.
Not good directing. Good editing.
But you know,
sorry.
Like,
my apologies.
But the biggest plot of the movie is like, and Corey said it. Well, you both said it earlier. Actually, it's the football team. Are they going to be together in their senior year? Is Randall Pink quitting? What's going to happen?
That's a subplot that nobody cared about,
right?
But yet they kind of made it seem like an important subplot.
They did,
but then they gloss over it like 2 seconds later.
Right? But the main characters in the whole movie, minus little Kramer, is the main characters are the football team.
Well, you know, actually, I would offer this. That the entire movie is about evolution and growth. Mm-hmm. Whether it's the football team, the quarterback, or whether it's the lack of through the McConaughey character, or whether it's evolving and growing from junior high to senior. You know, every just about every main personality was either evolving or devolving.
Right, and it's also about the pressure of being a teenager. I mean. All these seniors are get your priorities straight. It's like, you know, you have to do this, you have to do this. And it was said perfectly, you know, I've got to go get these concert tickets. They're the priority. That's my priority this summer, is I need those tickets. Yeah. So it's basically saying, you know, why the hell do we need to be an adult right now? Let me be a kid. Yeah. And I think even now as a parent, I can say it. I put a lot of pressure on my kids. You know, you're in grade 12. What the hell are you going to do with your life? Figure it out now. You got to figure it out now.
Yeah, I put a lot of pressure on Logan in chasing a dream, in finding a focus and finding whatever. He ended up taking a year off, floundering around after high school, but he's got a good drive now. So
right, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with him taking that year off.
Some people, I couldn't do that. If I was on a roll and if I took a break, I'd never go back to it, possibly.
And that was me. I mean, I dropped out in my senior year because school was boring and I was pregnant, so I dropped out. I never went back to school until...
Oh, sorry.
I went back to school mid-20s. And then I got my high school diploma and my degree back to back. Yeah. So, but
yeah, see, like, it's just funny how different Andrew and Steven are. Right. Like, Andrew is different for sure. He has very little. Like, he's so good with designing things that I really want him to go to school for design. And I think he's looking at, like, because we want him to get into architecture. Mm-hmm. Like, he's not great at math. But the ideas he comes up with, the things that he can build, like, it's insane. So I think yeah. Right. So I think that's something that, you know, he's going to wait to go for the mature student status because then it's not as reliant on the grades. Steven's he's so smart. Like, it's I don't know where that came from. He just had his social test. And he's like, oh, they just took the unit quizzes and they put those exact questions on the test. I'm like, well, that's what they do sometimes. Well, I've never had that before. I'm like, when I was in university, that's exactly how they did. He's like, yeah, I got a 92 or something like that. I'm like, oh my God.
Right? See, and like, even Victor and Alan, like, again, completely different personalities. Victor really doesn't care about doing anything, and that's fine. It's okay not having to do anything. Alan, on the other hand, Alan's going to school to be a welder.
There you go.
Like, so that is his aspiration. He is not taking time off.
I met a kid at this play I'm doing out of town in Cedric who dreams of growing up. He's like 16.
Who dreams of growing up?
Dreams of going up to being a sprinkler operator for I don't know.
A stadium or
I'm guessing
Or an irrigation ditch?
something like that. I know he's got a 4-H symposium on the 4th, so
a farmer's field would at least pay money.
Right?
yeah. So I don't know. But he was very energetic about it. So
Right, and
Passion is a funny thing, right?
it is a funny
but
thing.
we've got these kids that want to be all these different things, and like I remember growing up, and what do you want to be? I don't know.
I wanted to be a jet fighter, a fireman, a cop, until I found out I was colorblind and I wasn't indigenous and I wasn't this and I wasn't that. And all these things just cut me off all of that. And then I didn't know what I wanted to be.
I mean, at one point, like I wanted to be a lawyer, ended up not doing that. I
just played one on stage.
Right? See,
In hell.
Right, and like I was actually being pushed to be one because I'm the youngest of 5, so you learn how to argue, and you get really, really good at it.
Oh, that explains everything.
Right? You learn how to be very good at arguing, and then didn't want to do that anymore because now I'm being pushed at it, and then now I don't know. I've got the stupidest freaking degree on the face of the planet.
No, it's not an art degree, so it can't be that stupid. So.
I'm a glorified secretary.
Administrative
Assistant?
diploma or what?
No, I took the business management administration. So yeah,
Well, I just took business management.
I went heavier on the administration for my business management. So
Yeah, because mine was at McEwen, and you learned economics, you learned communication, you learned computers, you learned the computer. I mean, I got 97 in that class. Like that was super easy. But I learned to do like the back end of things. I did business accounting and financial accounting.
Right.
So
whereas yours is heavier, or was more mainstream that way. I know more on the business law.
yeah, I did have business law as one class. And I think I only got a 77 in that class, but
I had like
only a 77?
well, I had a 3.6 GPA going into the second semester.
What are you, American? I get 3.6? What the fuck is that?
That's
80%, 90%. A, B, C, D, I guess.
3.6, I think, is high 80s.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I graduated with 3.12. So I bombed. Not bombed, but I didn't do as well in my second semester.
You didn't bomb.
Although my microeconomics class, I got a 51. So
right, but
I passed.
there's some topics that appeal more to other people than.
Well, and the teacher didn't help.
Right, well, there's that too. I mean, but like the whole math and accounting part, no, I'll take the law any day.
I took finance too, so like back end finance. That was a lot of fun. It was a lot of algebra, and it was pretty well just algebra. And because I didn't go to school until 2016, right?
Yeah.
I'd been graduated for at that point like 20 years, and so all of a sudden it's like algebra. I'm like, fuck, how do you do this again? And everyone's like just out of high school in this class, so they're like whizzing through it. But my teacher was like the greatest teacher. Like he's actually a tenured teacher there. He's one of the greatest guys you'll ever meet, Alan Wesley. Shout out. What's it called?
Alan Wesley! Oh, sorry.
Literally. But he would do a lot of fun assignments, a lot of side things. Hey, if you can do this, you get some bonus marks. Hey, if you're doing this, we'll give you some bonus marks. On the final test, he actually, I'm going through it, I'm trudging through it, and there's some of the things, advanced algebra is not my strong suit. Basic algebra I love. But either way, I'm going through it, and I'm trudging, and it's getting... You get to the last page, it's 10 bonus marks if you can draw a picture of me.
Oh, see, I would have got 10 points for that.
So I got my bonus marks. So I ended up getting a 90 in that class.
Okay.
And I did not deserve a 90 in that class. So, but with all the bonus marks that I got, and again, he was so relatable, so easy to talk to, so easy to teach. Yeah, he was
a good teacher. Is absolutely amazing. 4-0 Oilers. It's okay. Every time there's a massive blowout, it almost always goes exactly the other way next game.
Oh, same with the Leafs game, right? They lost 5-1 their first game, and now they won this game. So
I thought this was their first game.
No, it's the second game. They lost 5-1 game one.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I didn't think they already started. Oh.
Yeah, they started, them and someone else, I can't remember who, started already 2 days ago. Or 3 days ago, I should say. Yeah. Anyway.
So it feels like we just we discovered this is total nostalgia bait. So if you're into nostalgia bait, you have to be like at least 40. You know, to recognize 40. This as nostalgia.
There's very few.
At the least, you should be 50. Really,
very few Gen Xers out there, and I'll stress it at that just because the movie came out in '93. Very few Gen Xers out there that have not seen this movie.
Oh, absolutely, and that's what I mean. Like you know, I was only 5 years removed from this movie, basically, because I graduated in '88, so I was like 8 years removed. If I'm a senior, if I'm a junior, it's like 6 years, you know. So, I mean, even watching this when I was younger, it was just like there's a lot of similarities. A lot of things had toned down and whatever. Actually, it was my second year of football that all the hazing, all that story stuff I told earlier got shut down because for whatever reason, one of the cheerleaders narked.
Of course.
On what was going on, because we had booze on the bus and we'd, the flask and pass it around on the ride home from football. And, and it all got shut down. That's when it ended in Rocky. They didn't do that after that, but it's a life of, a day of, it's nostalgia. Is there anything else really that we could talk about that has relevance to the movie? Or are we just going to talk about our lives?
I think we should get into final thoughts for the movie.
And that's kind of what I was leaning towards, because I kind of griped about I didn't like some of the directorial choices. The music was good, just poorly placed. I'll get into that in more detail. So,
well, we'll start with Laura.
Okay,
since she's not doing anything important.
I'm not doing anything important. Okay, so I don't know. It's like you said. It's just it's a nostalgia thing. Is it one that I would recommend? Yeah, because I like the movie. I mean, and I've got my own reasons for it, most likely, because it's relatable for me growing up in nowhere. But, filming-wise, it's not the best. Music was good. I really liked the music. It's my genre. So I'd give it a 3.5 out of 5.
3.5 out of 5?
I'd give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Okay. Well, that's a respectable remark.
A respectable?
Very
respectable remark.
Respectable.
Respectable. That's right.
You talk like Jeff Texas.
Like who?
Like Jeff Tex.
Who's Jeff Text?
You talk like the way Jeff Text.
Oh, yes, you're right. Okay, so let's go on to you, Corey.
Move away from the microphone.
Yeah.
It was fun. I guess I was saying before, I walked into this movie. The first time I watched it, I got bored to tears, didn't finish it. And that was years ago. Watched it this time, and I'm like, you know what? I dig this. This is cool. This is really... It's a day-in-the-life movie that makes you... Like, I think, obviously, if I was around in the 70s... Well, I was born in 79, but either way, I would have maybe got it more, but I felt like it was an accurate depiction from what I know of that time. But again, I have no experience, so I could be very well wrong. The characters, for the most part, were good. Again, the soundtrack as an album, absolutely phenomenal, but I can't help but agree with Mike that some of them were pretty poorly placed. But all in all, it was a lot of fun. I don't see myself rushing to watch it another time, but if somebody was to suggest it, I'd watch it. Yeah, I'm going to agree with Laura too, actually. 3.5 out of 5 sounds solid.
Wow. So, kind of, I don't know. Is that expected? Did I expect that from you guys?
Probably.
I don't know. I was kind of expecting a little more out of Laura, but...
Laura, damn it.
Too bad.
All right.
Stop sucking.
Yeah, hold the phone, push the red dot.
Okay.
Shh. Don't tell them we're TikToking. It annoys Jeff when we tell him we're doing that. Okay. So...
Wait. Ready? Oh, you're doing it?
Oh, yeah.
This
So...
is on his TikTok, though.
Well, it doesn't have to be on my TikTok. Okay. So, guess what? So, it was interesting because I liked this movie the first time much more, probably because I was closer to that nostalgia. And now that, again, I'm going to say that theaters kind of ruined me a bit, I looked at it more analytically, and I don't like it as much as I did. Yes, some of the characters were relatable, and I got it. Some of the characters were really well done. Some of them were poorly done. I don't think I'm a fan of A Day in the Life, and the music was just weird. Like, it was placed in the great music, just in the wrong place at the wrong time. So I don't know. I just didn't jive with me. I'm a grumpy old bastard, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. So. Being well done, I give it a 4 out of 10. And Jeff accused me of not being as harsh as I should be. So this is the in that flavor. And outside and its likability, I'll give it a 6 out of 10, just because I like some of the actors before they were famous, and that's me being generous. So. Those are my final thoughts. But all right. So we're still podcasting. Is there anything going on in your life?
Work.
No, that's not.
You can have this one if you really want it.
So, okay. So just work. Corey's
I wish I could
living the dream.
I wish I could say there's more, but there's not.
Building towards retirement.
Yeah, on a salary.
So was that the Freedom 85 Club?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sad to think that we got to be 85 before we can retire.
Laura, what do you got going on? All the kids done racing?
The kids are done racing. It was big success. They always have fun at these things. I didn't get a long enough nap afterwards.
Do we ever?
No, we never do. Because somebody always calls me. And this time it was not work related. But it's beyond that, not a lot. Things have, life's upside down right now, but what do you do about that? Not a whole shit ton. And then otherwise things are, between work and scouts, it's starting to calm down a little bit. So, about damn time.
Yeah.
Right. So what about you, Mike?
A couple cool things happening. On May the 4th at the Bailey Theatre, we're doing the ADFA One Act Festival, where we got a couple first-timers on stage. Corey is going to be the voice and the body of a demon in a play called An Interview by David Mamet, performed with me, which will be a lot of fun.
You so have to embody Tim Curry.
And we are also performing a fresh new version and new works called Lizards Don't Have Dicks, performed by a fresh new cast. Also starring one of your top 4 favorite Real Life Opinions podcasters, Jeff, is playing the dad in this beautiful story about realizing you're worth more than you think you are, and you can't do things alone.
Sorry, when you said about Jeff, I just thought of Ghostbusters. Like, Mr. Mayor, happy to see something. It's like, just to let you know that almost 50% of us voted for you in the last election, and there's only 4 of them.
And after that, we're looking for designers, for set and costume designers for the Shakespeare in the Park we have in the end of August, which will keep you enlightened on that. For what's that called? Shakespeare show? Jesus.
Midsummer Night's Dream.
Midsummer Night's Dream. So that's going on, and we have a gong show in the fall, and I only mention that because we just got a band, a really cool band. I'm not going to say their name because we haven't inked the contract yet, but we got a great band. We got a couple co-hosts. Now we just got to find some performers and have a grand old time and give a bunch of money to the Camrose and Area Animal Shelter Society. So, we're done.
All right.
We're off. Signing off.
Thanks, everybody. this TikTok thing we're really hoping to kick off. So follow us on TikTok, Real Life Opinions. Of course, you got the Facebook, you got the Instagram. Follow us. We try to be as quick as possible. If you follow us on Spotify, of course, you do get updates every new episode. You don't have to wait for the posts on social media. The behind the scenes, as I call it, is kind of what our TikTok is, and I like it. It's kind of like watching the special features of your favorite episodes.
Yes.
So,
good night.
Is that it?